Welcome to another episode of Empowered Pinay Beyond Borders. I'm Marinka.
And I'm Ria, and today we have a very special guest, a Filipina nurse who's trailblazing not only in our country but also in other parts of the world, which is UK.
Yes, Miss Marlene, welcome to our podcast. And thank you again so much for joining us today and lending your precious time. I know you're very busy, but we are very thrilled that you're here and we are excited to know about your journey. And hopefully, our audience will be inspired and gain insights from you. So, can you share your journey of becoming a nurse and what inspired you to pursue this career?
Uh, First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me in your podcast.
Mhm.
This is my first time that get invited with this. I'm a bit shy because I know there will be some questions that I something like it's nice to share it with other Filipinas who work abroad. So first thing about your question of sharing my journey to becoming a nurse. Actually, mm, nursing is my second degree in the Philippines. I was doing a banking and finance, BSBA, banking and finance major on my first degree. I took that nursing because I took that kind of decision when I had my first marriage, broke, nagkahiwalay, ganon, di ba? So, you need to think of something that you need to move forward. So, you need to change something in your life. So, this is it na pati yung career ko, change ko rin. So, during that time, kasi medyo yung nursing during 2000 something, 2000, 2005, things like that, is boom. Boom sa US, boom in all parts of the world, in Middle East or even the UK. So, so balancing family issues and my education was difficult at that time. So because of my perseverance and sacrifices, which kept me going at that time, kasi parang you need to think about your children's future, your future. And if you get separated or divorced with your first marriage, you need to stand on your own. So I really began my journey again, starting to scratch, as
Mhm.
in the beginning, yun yung nag-start sa akin, nag-push to become a nurse. So my first job, to make the story short, my first job after I passed the board exam, I was an occupational nurse. So I've been in Dell Company, Convergys, things like that, and other industrial companies. And then during that time, I met a lot of people, and I also met friends. And then suddenly, not even a year, I offered a job in Trinity as a school nurse. So I'm aiming actually at that time I was aiming to get a job or get a job in St. Luke's as a nurse. No, I'm applying for a job as a nurse, but luckily they just offered me a job as a school nurse. So I took it because it's an opportunity, and also knowing at that time I think I have a better rate during that time than the nurses who taking that job as a nurse in St. Luke's. So I am very fortunate because when I got that job, I had these benefits, and that I can manage to to put my children, or especially my eldest children at that time, to sponsor him to um to study in Trinity. That's one of the benefit that I get, apart from the benefit of taking my masters at the same time. So uh so make the story short, 5 years I've been there. And then there was some challenges now, which is, I know that will be your second, I don't know, part of your question, but that's the first question, where that's what triggered me to get a nursing degree.
Very nice, very nice. Actually, when you were talking about it, there were some flashbacks on my mind when you mentioned change.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
2 decades ago too, I had to change company, change jobs, change team.
Yeah.
And I think the only constant in this world, right, is that word change. So if you're
Mm.
not really into change, hindi ka handa, yung puso mo, kaluluwa mo, na talagang yung meron ka ngayon, pwedeng bukas iba na. 'Di ba? Nakatira ka sa Dubai, bukas nasa Manila ka, 'di ba? So
Yeah.
you really have to always be alert, 'di ba? Your body and your spirit. So congratulations, me and Inka and the rest of Empowered Pinay Beyond Borders. Yan mismo ang pinopromote namin sa podcast na ito na people like us, we're girls, but we are into change and we have exerted a lot of effort para marating mo yung Filipina nurse ka ngayon, 'di ba? In a foreign land. So
Yeah.
now this is the question, as you said, right? What
Mhm.
in your mind, what is that challenge na hindi mo makakalimutan nung nandyan ka at nurse ka sa UK, no? And
Oh.
ang
Mhm.
kasunod na question is, paano mo na-overcome yun? Give us that tip.
All right. So, challenges. Challenges kasi marami yan eh. So, ika-categorize natin. So, first, challenges sa family. Then second sa work. And then people. Okay? So, sa family, first challenge mo. Siyempre, tayo pag nasa abroad, ano bang nangyayari? Miss natin ang pamilya natin. Especially if your children, malalayo ka sa mga anak mo. So, mahirap kasi, parang ang sakit, hindi mo sila makakasama, 'di ba? Parang yung palang lilipat ka, andyan na yung mga drama, iyakan, 'di ba? Parang makikita mo rin, iniisip mo rin, tama ba? You have parang yung decision mo ba, tama ba? O hindi? Pero parang iniisip mo rin na kailangan mong gawin yun. Kasi let's admit it, na ang purpose naman talaga natin to work abroad is to provide something to sustain our family and our children, and how you were going to provide a good education for your family if you're not going to do that. So, yun yung mga main reason, which is challenge sa'yo na parang laging may sakripisyo na tinatawag. 'Di ba? Laging may sacrifice. So not all everything pwede mong makuha na parang according sa lahat ng gusto mong mangyari. Meron laging may sakripisyo 'yan. So the second thing then na parang medyo okay lang din sa akin kasi that time na nag-abroad ako, uso na ang social media. So it's easier now to communicate with your family anytime, every day. You can just only access the internet. You can just call them, online, you can see them. And pwedeng maging constant yung communication nyo. But the only problem sometimes is especially teenagers. They don't have this, eagerness na kailangan i-prompt mo pa sila na, okay lang tumawag ka or what. They will not say anything about updates from them unless you will insist or you will ask na anong nangyayari sa inyo, ganyan, ganyan, di ba, ganito. Yun, hindi sila magsasabi. And sometimes you will only find out sometimes may mga problema after na. Di ba? So, communication is very important. Yan yung pinaka-challenge. Kasi minsan may pakiramdam ka rin pag nasa abroad. Maybe this is not only me, and even those mga parents na nasa abroad na minsan i-communicate ka lang ng family mo or kung sino man na nangangailangan when it comes to money. May kailangan, kaya nag-communicate, di ba? So, yun naman ang isang purpose, then kaya ka rin nagtrabaho abroad. But sometimes, mahirap yung buhay abroad kasi hindi mo naman lahat sinasabi ko ano nangyayari sa iyo doon. Kasi bukod sa namimiss mo sila, parang siyempre may mga challenges ka rin na nararanasan sa work mo. So ito na yung masasabi kong challenges sa work, okay, apart from your family. sa work, you will encounter professional and non-professional people. Okay, na tao na makakasama sa work. So, hindi ko naman sinasabi by education or what. It's not sa tinapos mo or what. Kaya lang, meron kasing mga unprofessional na tao na sometimes pati yung ugali nila talagang nadadala nila. Meron din namang professional na tao na hindi professional umakto, parang ganun. 'Di ba? May mga attitude. So ayun, kailangan talaga maintindihan mo yung mga differences ng tao. So this is will come yung mga tao na. So pag nasa ibang lugar ka, dito na papasok yung mga cultural differences na tinatawag natin. So dito ko naintindihan at napag-aralan. Okay, this is what I've learned. Na pag pumunta ka sa ibang lugar, they have their own culture na kailangan mong aralin. And also, yung mga tao, we have our individualities, how we were being raised, how we were exposed, or how yung environment natin. Kasi iba-iba tayo eh. So, minsan may encounter mo yun eh sa buhay mo. So, even as yung mga Pilipino nga, kahit minsan, kahit hindi mo kakilala o kabayan mo, nandun kasama mo, pero minsan, may encounter mo, sila pa yung mga parang makakaaway mo o parang maggagawa ng parang tension or challenge sa buhay mo, na may mga ganong situation. So, yun yung mga nakikita ko na it's not about kung anong race ka. Ito yung natutunan ko eh. This is yung kung paano ka magpakatao. It doesn't matter what is your race, anong age, anong sex, you know? Kasi like dito, diverse community, diverse siya. Pero minsan, mas feeling ko pa na, mas maganda pa yata, ibang lahi na lang ang kasama ko. Hindi ko naman sinasabing Pilipino is ano. Pero minsan, kailangan piliin mo dahil meron din tayong culture na marites eh. Di ba? Hindi mo mawawala yun eh. Pag talagang naggrupo-grupo na ang mga Pilipino, wala na, di ba? Lalo na pag nasa ibang bansa, di ba? In my opinion and in my experience, I'm just sharing it. Kasi takot ako sa mga chismis nga or siraan, mga ganyan. So parang, alam mo yun, dahil nga culture na nasa atin yung ganun, minsan nadadala din nila pag nasa ibang bansa. So kaya parang sabi kong ganun. Tapos minsan din, nalalaman ko din pagka dahil nga yung nandun ako sa Qatar, especially nung nasa Qatar ako, iba ang culture din doon kasi nga Muslim country, very strict. Nakaabaya, kailangan sumunod ka sa law nila, di ba? Bawal yung mga naka-shorts, naka-sleeveless. Although okay naman, kaya lang, marami pa rin bawal. Bawal yung exposed na sasama ka sa mga lalaki na date ka na kayong dalawa lang. Kailangan unless married kayo. May mga ganun eh. So, you need to respect. So, ang sa akin lang, if Filipinos are there, abroad, kaya naman nilang sumunod sa law. Pero kung bakit nagtataka lang ako, pag sa Pilipinas, hindi naman nila kaya gawin. Mga pasaway, di ba? Tapos pag dito din, mga Pilipino, kung ano yung law, sinusunod. Kahit saang lugar naman, kaya naman sumunod ng mga Pilipino. Pero pag kayo nasa lugar na natin sa Pilipinas, pasaway, di ba? So yun, maraming challenge siya. Basta ang isang natutunan ko lang din na kailangan aralin natin yung culture.
Yeah.
So, kahit na anong lahi yan. Kasi minsan nga, pagka tinatanong ko yung asawa ko, bakit ganito yan? Bakit ganito yan? Sabi niya, oh, ganyan din dito. Sabi ko, parang sa Pilipinas din pala. Sabi niya, hindi, kahit sang lupalop ka ng mundo pumunta, ganyan talaga. May mga ganyan pare-pareho, di ba? Like sa pagdadrive na lang, maraming mga, di ba, panibado, ganyan. So, kahit saan ka pala pumunta talagang lugar. Ganyan, pare-pareho. So, yun lang. Kailangan mo lang aralin talaga yung individual, personality ng tao, yung cultures, especially.
Yep. Totally agree po dyan. Actually, we had an episode, if you remember, we talk about cultural differences. And I think I mentioned during that episode na, yeah, we have to educate ourselves about the culture of other individuals na nakakasalamuhan natin, especially us, we're here abroad, right? So we have to understand and educate ourselves and also respect, right? Respect yung culture ng ibang
Yes.
regions or ibang countries. And while I'm listening sa mga challenges nyo, nag-flashback din kasi Ria and myself are also abroad, right? So mahirap talaga, especially mawalay sa family. Siguro, especially sa anak, right? So I'm just lucky enough na I'm with my kids, but away from my parents and from my siblings and the rest of the family because ako lang nandito sa US. So I was like getting emotional was listening while listening to your story kasi everyone can for sure resonate dun sa mga sinabi niyo pong challenges and I totally agree po doon. So those challenges and for sure like living abroad can be tough, right? And we can attest to that as well, right? So how do you stay connected po with your roots, Filipino roots or with your family back home?
Well, stay connected like what I've said earlier, yung communication is very important, especially sa family, diba? And I see to it that every year at least I go home
Oh, nice.
or I will plan to see my children. Either I go to Dubai or Pilipinas, or maybe we work out together na magkita-kita in one place, parang ganun. So, I always see to it na umuwi ako. Unfortunately lang, medyo mahal kasi ang pamasahe from here going to
That's true.
Philippines. So, at least nakukuha pa rin namin every year. But when I was working in Doha, at least twice a year. Ginagawa ko yun. Dahil nga sa school, mas marami akong holidays. So it's either yung mga anak ko, pupuntahan ko sa Dubai. And then, pag napunta ko sa Dubai, pupuntahan ko naman sa Pilipinas ang parents ko, siblings ko, di ba? Ganun lang yon, ganun yung naging takbo ng buhay ko. Until now, ganun pa rin. Di ba? So, well, I'm still hoping na family, kasi yun ang importante eh. Friends kasi, still have connection with friends, pero friends are come and go. You can also have friends here. And sometimes yung friends mo sa Pilipinas, hindi naman sila constant din na nagko-communicate, di ba? So sometimes, kasi pagka nurse ka na rin, ang communication mo na, ang expand kasi ng group mo na, all over the world na eh. So, pag naging nurse ka, kung sino yung dating kabatch mo, nasa Amerika na, nasa Europe na, nasa Saudi. So, nagiging communication nyo na lang then is yung mga platform, social platform. Diba?
What's your favorite social platform? I'm intrigued. Are you on the WhatsApp, Viber? Yun talagang every second of the
WhatsApp,
day.
yun naman ang common dito. WhatsApp.
Yeah, fave namin din ang WhatsApp. Yep.
Yes. So, yun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing all of these. Nakakatuwa to talk to you, and because you are in the medical, health field, and me and Inka is on the tech. Parehong importante yan, technology and healthcare. Di ba? So my next question is, what is your may phone-in question dito? What is your advice to aspiring Filipino nurses or even from other parts of the world gustong maging nurse, lalo na sa UK?
Mga gustong mag-nurse. Well, apart from my friend May, she's the ambassador of OET and also I'm helping her to promote that. Well, isa lang advice ko kahit na hindi nurse, kahit sino pa man na gustong ma-abroad na Pilipina. Ang masasabi ko lang is learn to be self-sufficient. Alam mo yun. Parang, kasi you don't know kung yung battle na pupuntahan mo eh. Pero kailangan you need to be strong. And always remember na ginagawa mo yan dahil sa pamilya mo. So, take also the opportunity lahat ng about to grow yourself, like if there's any learning like training, education, or any social na parang makakapag uplift sa iyo, diba, to boost your self-esteem, lahat na pwede kang mag-grow, gawin mo. Kasi ako nag-struggle ako dito bago ako nag-start kasi I need to learn the system. So
Mm-mm.
this is, as Filipino, advice ko lang sa inyo, kung papunta kayo sa ibang lugar, especially if yung parang, unless you are really hired directly kung ano yung job nyo. Pero kung pupunta kayo sa isang lugar na parang hindi nyo pa alam kung anong gagawin ninyo. So,
Mm-mm.
wag na kayo munang mamili. Just do what you can, you know. Even me, I will just set the example of, you know, para lang hindi ako ma-bored, I just, applied muna as you know, yung helper sa restaurant. So, cashiering or serving food, para lang may magawa ako din. And probably go to a care home, looking after its other children or adult, ganun. Parang kailangan, ang Pilipino naman matiisin or marunong tayong mag-discard ang tawag, di ba?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We are known for that. So, kasi may mga kilala rin ako sa Qatar noon na pagka pupunta sila, yung mga asawa nurses, o kahit dito rin, yung mga asawa nurses, tapos yung asawa nila, walang trabaho. So, ang gagawin nila, it's either magde-drive sila ng mga sasakyan, kukuha sila ng mga part-time jobs, mga ganun ba. So, kung tayo lang, hindi tayo namimili, we can, go anywhere. And known naman ng Pilipino na hard worker. So, ang sa akin lang, basta maging self-sufficient.
Mm-mm.
Yun.
Yep. Thank you for those insights, Miss Marlene. Yeah, actually, I agree po doon. Kasi when I started here in the US then, hindi naman ako automatic naging, a part of the technology. I used to work in NetSuite back in the Philippines, but once you move to a different country, automatic, right? Unless yun nga, you came here for work talaga. So I also work for like mga part-time for a year
Yeah.
before I
Yeah.
get hired, right? So it's very important to become self-sufficient and yun nga, yung pagiging madiskarte natin as a Filipino. So anyway, so Miss Marlene, for sure, being a nurse, it's a noble profession, and for sure you are working long hours in the hospital, 18-hour shifts, 16 hours, right? So paano niyo po nababalanse yung personal and career? So any insights that you can share with us, to our audience?
Well, tingin ko, balance na balance naman. Kasi here sa
That's good
UK,
to know.
kasi meron silang law na flexibility of working, flexible, or they say it's like a work-life balance, flexibility.
Mhm.
If you are working in a hospital, you can choose shifts. Like,
Mhm.
you can work like 3 long days in a week, or
Mhm.
probably you can pick up a short shift like 5 days a week, or it's either you pick up a shift that's only working for a weekend or only work at nighttime. So, kagaya sa akin ngayon, I'm just only doing part-time but long days, parang gano'n. So, the rest of the week, medyo marami akong time na gawin yung mga hobbies ko like gardening, sewing, 'di ba? Socializing. So,
Nice.
talagang mas marami pa nga akong social life kaysa sa work life, parang gano'n. But, you know, yun ang maganda kasi dito. Hindi kagaya sa Pilipinas, wala tayong hindi ko naramdaman na meron tayong work-life balance eh. Parang ang work talaga natin kailangan from Monday to Friday or sometime overtime pa ng Saturday. And parang hindi ko rin masyadong naramdaman yung tinatawag nilang annual leave na
Mhm.
talagang requirements. Kasi dito sa UK, required talagang kunin mo yung annual leave mo na 5 to 6 weeks. It's either scattered it, like for example, if you want to go to the Philippines for a month, so you already consume your 4 weeks, and yung other 5 to 6 weeks, yung natitira, pwede mo siyang scattered. Parang ganun. And gamitin mo yon. Parang paid kasi yon. So, gamitin mo. So, yun ang maganda na parang may benefit ka na makukuha. At the same time, may flexibility sa work. And you can, depende kung saan ang employment mo. Like yung mga sa ITs or pwede rin meron din mga work from home na tinatawag. So, there's a lot of flexibility. And also, if you are married or may family ka, may children ka, i-consider din nila yung mga ganun. na situation. Like, halimbawa, bibigyan ka lang ng mga 1 shift or 2 shifts in a week, di ba? So, depende sa kung anong arrangement. So, dito walang problema na sa pagdating sa mga ganyan kasi parang well supported din ng law nila at saka ng employer, parang gano'n.
Oh,
So,
good to know.
mhm.
Right? It's
Yeah.
good to know
So,
na mas marami kayong social life.
oo,
Ay,
masaya nga
Sana
din
all.
dahil mas marami, approve ako doon, na mas marami kang social life kasi that will give you joy
Yes,
and
exactly.
support
And
group
that's what we
when
need.
you're
Good for
working.
our
Oh,
well-being, di ba?
correct. That's
Yes.
true.
yeah. So anyway, probably this could be our last question because we don't want to take much of your time, Marlene. So
Yep.
to you, being a Filipino nurse, what is your probably what is the difference of the healthcare system? Maraming may gusto niyang makaalam ng UK sa Philippines. If you can cite 2 examples.
Okay, 2 examples. Okay. Very big example is UK. Maganda yung healthcare system dito. Kasi
Mm.
yung taxes dito napupunta talaga directly sa NHS. So yung healthcare system dito, kaya maraming matatanda dito na okay pa yung quality of life hanggang 100 plus. It's because of the good healthcare system. And even maraming charities na nagsusupport din, 'di ba? So wala tayo niyan sa Pilipinas. Ewan ko kung ano yung gobyerno natin sa they don't really spend funds sa healthcare. We have like privatized and HMOs na tinatawag na pagka hindi ka kumuha ng insurance, paano na? So magdi-depend na lang sa mga pamilya abroad. Kaya marami rin tuloy mga nag-a-abroad na kailangan i-sustain yung family because of hospitalization, di ba? So in my opinion yun. So ganun yung parang common na nagiging ano natin. So kung sana lang, di ba, iayos nila. Kasi dito centralized, kaya dito busy. Although medyo mabagal dahil nga sa dami, lahat na ng populasyon ng UK is relying sa NHS eh. So, lahat surgeries, mga pa-cancer, lahat libre, wala kang babayaran. Lahat. As
Nice.
in completely lahat. Hanggang tumanda ka.
Even
Ano.
medicines mo araw-araw o hindi naman?
Yung medicines, hindi naman. Meron lang
Yun lang
silang
hospital bills mo
burden.
and all the
But
treatments.
no hospital bills. Wala kang hospital bills.
Oh, wow.
Pero kung
Wow.
halimbawa outpatient ka, so
Mhm.
kung meron kang maintenance, depende sa category kasi merong bracketed age yan eh na parang funded din siya ng NHS. So even care homes, 'di ba? Ito lang ang hindi na libre. Pagka inassess kasi yung mga matatanda sa care home, halimbawa hindi na sila kaya hindi na nila kaya mamuhay mag-isa sa bahay nila, so kailangan na nilang i-transfer sa care home because they need 24 hours care, di ba? So ang mangyayari niyan, i-arrange na lang yan. Usually kung meron silang mga properties, i-liquidate na lang yan at bayad na lang sa care home, di ba?
Oh,
Ganun ang nangyayari. So, ang isa pa na parang nakikita ko rin na may advantage and disadvantage na-mention mo na kasi dahil last question na ito, well, ang nangyayari nga, ang mga matatanda, mapupunta na sa care home because yun nga, meron silang mga independency, hindi sila kasi nag-rely dito sa family. Unlike sa atin sa Pilipinas, ang culture natin, and because of the healthcare system, magre-rely tayo sa mga pamilya na pwedeng mag-alaga sa atin. Di ba? So, yun yung differences. So, sa Pilipinas naman, dahil privatized, meron tayong PhilHealth, meron tayong HMOs,
mhm.
pero yun lang, ang pinapromote, primary care, prevention ang nangyayari sa atin. So, more on sa mga barangays, sa remote area, more on primary care. And lack tayo sa mga equipment. Hindi kagaya ang UK is high-tech lahat eh. Alam mo yun? Lahat high-tech. So even yung mga doctors dito, di ba parang talagang magagaling sila. So even yung mga nasa Middle East ng mga patient o nasa ibang lugar, pumupunta dito para magpagamot. Yun, kailangan na nilang bayaran kasi they are not citizen here. Pero lahat ng citizen dito sa UK can access NHS. So, yun ang pinakamaganda dito. Kaya nga, minsan ang mga nurses dito, kung bakit nagtataka ako, family-wise, it's really nice to stay here. Hindi ko naman sinasabing sa US hindi maganda. Alam ko mas malaki ang bayad ng mga nurses sa US. Pero I heard from some of my nurses friends sa US, very busy. Parang ang dami rin nilang binabayaran. Parang, basta, depende rin. Depende rin sa situation siguro.
That is true.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, hopefully nga, one day Philippines will have better healthcare system.
Mhm.
Yan din ang pangarap ko sa probinsya namin. I will not go
Mhm.
into mention, but yeah, because last year I had medical mission, last year, and yun talaga yung nakikita ko na kulang, right? Yung medical system, hospitals, equipments,
Yeah.
and even doctors and nurses. I know we have a lot of nurses and working abroad because there's a reason why we're working abroad, right?
Yeah.
As a nurse, right? Kahit gustuhin man nating to stay, sa Philippines to help other people, but of course we have also family to feed. And I totally understand yung mga ganang situation. But anyway, thank you, Miss Marlene, for the insights and sharing your journey and giving us some glimpse and differences between the UK and the Philippines. Hopefully, yung mga audience natin and listeners gained insights and inspired po
Definitely.
sa story ninyo. Working abroad is really hard, especially again when you have family back home, especially kids, right? So again, thank you po so much for being with us today. Right, Ree?
Yeah,
Anything you want to
I enjoyed it because listening to Marlene is yung
Mm,
sinabi niya unang-una, she nailed it eh.
yeah.
Self-sufficiency. Because you cannot help your parents and your family, your children, if you're not if you're not self-sufficient. And it also matches my own motto in life. Every day I always say this, you are your own
Yeah.
superhero. It will not be your husband or your father, even if your father is the biggest businessman. Sa huli, ikaw at ikaw pa rin ang magsasalba sa sarili. And you're doing it, Marlene. Oh my
Exactly.
God. So we can clearly see that you are an epitome of an empowered woman. And of course, beyond the borders of Philippines and raising your flag in UK. So maraming salamat, Marlene. We
Yeah.
are so happy to have you here. So till our
Yes.
next Empowered Pinay Beyond Borders, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Marinka. Again, thank you for tuning us. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and follow us our social media for behind the scene updates. And always remember, life is what you make it. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Maraming
Bye. Bye, Marlene. Bye,
salamat.
Thank you, Miss
everybody.
Marlene.
Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat.